Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to my class. Again, we are continue with language testing and assessment. This is the second meeting, and I'm very happy I can meet you all today, even through online. But yes, the COVID-19 situation make us to have to be like using the online study. So I remember last meeting, I gave you a first task, and I very appreciate for those who finished the task on time. I mentioned only 3 students, if I'm not mistaken, 3 students submitted the task on time, and I really appreciate that for that. And for those who are not sending the task on time, I'm really sorry to say that I cannot correcting your task, because if I said before in the task, I put on the e-learning system, I said it should be submitted on Saturday, 12 o'clock. But anyway, maybe that's the first meeting. Maybe you need time to understand what's the consequence of not sending or submitting the online on time. I hope for the second meeting today and for the second task, you can submit it that's on time. All right. The task that I gave to you before the previous meeting, that's the first task. And today I'm going to give you also the second task. Maximum, you will have 3 tasks during this semester. And after that, you're going to have mid test, and also you have final test, and also you have some quizzes, right? So all the score will be uploaded in the system, and then you will have your last result, which is A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, right. So one more time, I'm going to say thank you for those who sending the task on time. Yeah. All right. For the second meeting today, we're going to talk about types of tests and quality of good tests. It's in a meeting 2, right? So if we talk about tests and assessment, especially we talk about types of tests and quality of good tests, it's mostly related to teacher's job, okay? So I know in the future you guys going to be teachers, English teachers, and you're gonna spreading all over entity, and you're gonna teach English. Some of you not, I think. But if you're going to be a teacher one day, and the word test and assessment, it will be your area of working, right? So questions about what is test, or what is a test and what is an assessment, is mostly asking by lots of students, lots of teachers, lots of teacher-students, for example. And I said these are 2 terms mostly used by teaching education life. Let's start with tests. I mentioned here test is a method of measuring person's ability, knowledge in a given domain, with an emphasis on the concept of method and measuring. If we can change person, we're going to change with students, for example. We say this test is a method of measuring students' ability or knowledge in a given domain with an emphasis on the concept of method measuring. Okay, so this sentence means like this. If you made a test, of course you're measuring your students' ability, but it's through a method and also kind of perfect measuring, right? And then the second sentence I said, tests are instruments, okay, that carefully design and that have identifiable scoring rubrics. Okay, underline the word carefully designed and then scoring rubrics. All right, so for teachers, tests you have to be carefully designed. In what way? So through administrative procedures, okay, through administrative procedures. Look at this. that occupy identical time periods in a curriculum when learners master all the faculties offer peak performance, knowing that their response are being measured and evaluated. Of course, before giving tasks, teachers, you have to think about what's the instruments, okay, and what's the rubrics, okay, and of course, make sure your students know that they are being measured and evaluated by you. All right. Mostly case happen in the school. Teachers teaching lessons difference bit to the test that are given to the students. And when students do the test, and they're thinking like, but master, miss, you never thought this lesson before. Yeah, so this is not something really accurate, right? We're going to talk that about the quality of good tests later after this. All right, let's go to assessment. Assessment, I'm going to write here, is an ongoing process that encompasses a much wider. Whenever a student responds to a question, over comments, or tries out new word or structure, the teacher subsequently makes an assessment of the student's performance. What's the meaning of this? The meaning of assessment is not like you have kind of of course you need the rubrics for making the assessment, but it's ongoing process. It could be happening in the teaching and learning process in the school, in the class, I mean. It could be teachers observing students and write down, oh, okay, his pronunciation is good, his grammar is okay. So you assess during the process of learning, teaching and learning process, okay? So you can look the difference between test and assessment, okay? So this is quite different. But at the end of your teaching, at the end of the semester, these two areas are making teachers get the result and put the result score for each student. Okay, let's say our lecturing right now. I give you tasks, I give you quizzes, I give you final tests and middle tests, for examples, and at the end you will get A, B, C, D, or E. But then the A or the B or the C or the D or the E, you get those letters from the process of measuring it, the rubric of score, and through a good process of teaching, of course. Yeah. If I'm not teaching you this topic and I'll give you the test, it's not a good quality of test. Yeah. So that's the example. So as teachers, we have to remember that we have to think how to make the perfect test, the perfect assessment for measuring our students' knowledge or performance or ability. Okay, yeah. So think about these two terms, test and assessments, and probably you have your own ideas what test is and what assessment is. Okay. If you have a question, guys, or if you want to comment something, I really recommend you to put your comments in the chatting box or in the discussion box. You can type in chatting, and all of you can chatting together, and some of you give your response comments. Maybe you have ideas, just put it there. If I have time, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna type your question. And yeah, so everybody can comment to someone's opinions or ideas on the chatting box. So feel free to go to the chatting box. All right, now I'm gonna go to what we say the kinds of tests. All right, so for me, I write down 4 main characters of tests which teachers and learners of English are likely come into contact with. Right, so this is kind of tests. Right. So the first one, the type of test that I mentioned here is like placement tests. Maybe you have a question. what the placement test is. In the bracket, I said to place students in an appropriate level. All right. Imagine, guys, you go to, let's say you're going to follow an English course, for example, and you don't know what level you're going to go to, and you have to follow the placement test. After the placement test, and you got the score, the teachers will say, okay, you go to level A, or you go to level B, or C, or D, right? So that's placement test. You go and you get the test, and you're going to put your level in accurate place, all right? Or let's say you enter a school and you have to follow the placement test to see whether you are in level A or B, like you go to university, for example. Yeah, but I'm wondering if the university is not making perfect real placement tests. All right, that's my curiosity about that. Second one, we talk about achievement tests. Achievement test is given at the end of semester period. All right. Let's talk about achievement tests. You talk about the final test, for example. You talk about national exam, for example. Yeah. So you achieve something at the end of the semester. Teachers give you a test, and you get the result. Yeah. And proficiency tests. Proficiency test is just try to go to TOEFL NIELTS test. Yeah. It's about how you see your accuracy, your proficiency in level of English, for example. It's not merely talking about level of English, but you can talk about some level. But because we focus on English, we say TOEFL test, IELTS test. That's kind of proficiency test. I've put some reference down here, and you can look and you can read and find some ideas about what proficiency test is. Okay. And the next one is diagnostics test. Okay. The diagnostic test is, in the bracket I said, refers to any particular skill, such as pronunciation, writing, speaking, etc. So diagnostic test. Let's say I teach you pronunciation, and I see how you make the sounds of the letter sounds, for example, A, B, something like that. And so I try to diagnose your skill specifically in particular skill. That's diagnostic test. You can read by yourself. I have put some reference for you. All right. And then also, if you have a type of test, we also have typical item tests. This is very famous when we were in school, yeah? So we say multiple choice questions, all right? And that's very common, used by teachers all over the entity. I don't know why teachers like putting ABCs and clue A, B, C, D, and then students always just circle or cross. And I myself, I don't happy with this multiple choice questions, right? In the next meeting, we're going to talk about this. But I myself, I'm not satisfied with the multiple choice questions. For me, it's only, like cross and circle, and without, making your arguments in it. All right, so gap fill. Gap fill is like mostly, this is in English, for example. You have a paragraph, and then you have to put the words into the paragraph, like gap fill, okay? And transformation. Transformation is like you have kinds of tests, and you translate, you transform to the correct one, okay? We're going to talk about next meeting. And we have reordering. Reordering is like, for example, you have to arrange the words into good sentences, or you arrange sentences into good paragraph, for example. This is mostly common in school, yeah? I just put it with the different names. Okay. And summarizing. Summarizing is one of my favorite tasks. That's why if you see my task that I was given to you, I put the summarizing, an essay, right? So summarizing is you have to have a very good knowledge to summarize, like you read an article, then you summarize, read a paragraph and you summarize, and you put your ideas on it. And I really, really love this type of task. It's making kind of an argument and put in writing. It's really nice. Okay. Yeah, anyway, if you have questions, just upload it, your questions on the chatting box. And it's not only me answering your question, but maybe your friends have ideas. I also monitoring your performance through chatting. Yeah, do not put chatting on the chatting box like "Shalom, teachers" and "Good morning," but it's not making it really nice. So put ideas on it. The chatting box there is not for you to put to "Shalom everybody," but it's for you to type anything, ideas, questions on it. Okay. Now, yeah, let's talk about quality of good tasks. I have three things that we're going to talk, and this is the last discussion here. So I put the reference. If you look here, I put the references, 2 references. Yeah, quality of good tasks. The first one, you have transparency, you have validity, and you have reliability. What is transparency, validity, and reliability? Transparency is like this. This is related to how teachers create a perfect task, quality of good tasks. Transparency is like this. As I mentioned before in the first task is follow the procedures in the curriculum. You have scoring rubrics, and you have to make it transparency. Students need to know the questions from what materials you fix them. Yeah, so you have to making students know that, okay, students, during the semester here, we have learned so much things about these topics. And of course, the task will be about this stuff that we have learned before. Okay? Validity or valid. The valid of the test, it have to be similar to transparency, right? Valid means like you have to clear in making the questions before giving to the students. It should be related to the lesson, the topics that you have taught them before, and it will be valid. It's not valid if you teach different topics and you give different tests. It's not really valid. Reliability means, okay, it should be the questions you make in the test should be reliable to the knowledge of the student as well. Okay, so students, of course, they have their own capacity to understand, to mastery certain topics that you have taught as teachers. Okay, and you also have to look on your students' skills, ability, whether they have mastered these or not. By understanding that, you need to make the reliability test. From the reliability test, you're going to see that some of the students, maybe they passed the test, some of you did not pass the test. And you need to do, people will say, teachers, the term that is a remedial something. So you have to do the test again, which is the same topic with different questions. Mostly teachers, when they make the test, They just take the test from the internet, they download the test without editing anything, and then they put in the print and the printer and the print out, and they give to the students. And when the students look at this question, it's really crazy because I've never learned this before. Okay, and it's after students done the test, it's not also reliability. Yeah, it's not real when students get the very low score, and then you put the student in the same size of class. And of course, that's something, you know, unbalanced situation in a class. Teachers, you have to look at these three ideas and how to make quality of good tests. Looking at the performance of your students, the skill, the ability, the performance of the students, let's go to number 3, reliability. Validity, what you have thought, that also mentioned in what test you are going to make. Transparency, please think about transparency, students, teachers, the school stakeholders should know what kind of tests you try to make to your students. Okay? That's why we have to say through the procedures. Okay, yeah. So I think mostly we talk about tests. If we compare to assessment, yeah, if we compare to assessment is mostly talking about how teachers can monitor or observe students through teaching and learning process. Yeah, so that's the assessment. In the references here, guys, I have put 2 kinds of references. This is the same person, the same people, 2 writers years, 2001, 2002. And I hope you can find this because this is very useful, language testing and assessment. If you don't know how to go to this one, just open Google Scholar, copy this, put in the Google Scholar and click. And then you can download it, the materials from this, and you can put that as a reference for you to read to understand our discussion today. Our discussion today is very short. I don't like to make something longer for you. Yeah, so basically we talk about test and assessment, and then we have the characters of types of tests and also typical types, test item types. Yeah, so again, I hope you can read through these references. Okay, I know you are university students, guys, so I don't need to mention lots of details, but I just give the message like this. Go find by yourself the articles, read through this article. These 2 articles are very important. And also, if you want to read more about this, I recommend you to go to find Brown. Yeah, Brown is Douglas Brown. Okay, Douglas Brown, language testing assessment, and also I'll forget one, but I will put in the chat box after you put your question on it. I will put some references more to you. All right, again, if you have questions, upload your questions on the chatting box and we're going to talk through chatting box. All right, so I hope you always open your e-learning all the time, because all resources, all materials, all tasks I put there, I upload it there. So make sure you check the e-learning system every day. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to talk about the tests. No, not the test. Sorry, the task 2. If you go to e-learning system, you look on the task box. You click there and you open. That's the I put the procedures. I put how you're going to do the test. This second test is quite different with the first test. If you only make let's say last meeting you only make, I think 200 words. Yeah. This second task, you're supposed to make 400 words. Okay, consists of the introduction. You start with the title. I have also put the title, so you just follow my suggestion on the chatting task box. Yeah, so you start with a title, and then you go with the introduction. Introduction, supposedly you make only 50 words. 50 words, yeah. And then you go to body. You only make 2 bodies. Each body, the first body and the second body, I also put that title. So please mention the title before you make the paragraph. Yeah. So the first body, I put the title for that body. You just follow that and then you explain. So the body should be 300 words. Yeah, just look there, maybe 300 words. So supposedly you divide them in 2, so it's 150 and 150. But I'm not sure, you check again. And the last one is conclusion. Conclusion should be 50 words, and the references. As information, references is not counting as word counting, yeah? So reference is not counting as 400 words. If you think 400 words is also with the reference, you're wrong. So I'm not counting them. So I'm now I'm very details to checking your task. So make sure you make as what I said. Okay. Again, 400 words for the second meeting, the second task. I hope you. I know you can do it. It's so easy. You can easily write down your ideas. So just putting these 2 references here, but you also have to add 3 more references. So I have given you these 2 references, but on your task, you have to put 2 references, 3 more references. So that's 5 references. Okay. I don't need to teach you how to make an essay with introduction, body, and conclusion, because you have finished studying writing 1, writing 2, academic writing, and etc. etc. I don't need to teach you again. My point of view is I will see your writing, I will check through that, and I will give it back to you. Okay, so I will see good grammar on it, good punctuations, okay, and good spelling, yeah, so and good content. Right, so this is the 4 areas that I will look through your writing, your essay. So the first one is grammar, punctuation, spelling, and also your content, yeah. Okay. I think that's probably all about that topic today. You can read through this one. Yeah, this is. I think I enjoy lots. I enjoy having online class, so I can put the online video like this. And please watch the video. Yeah, and again, submit your task on time, please. Okay, because that's influence your score. If you're not sending on time, you will have very low score, trust me. Okay, all right, thank you everybody for today's meeting. We're gonna talk more in the chatting box, so please go to chatting box, touch it, and write something on it, because that's also one of the how I can assess you through the learning teaching learning process. Thank you. Stay healthy and wearing mask. Okay, wherever you go. All right. Thank you. See you next time.